As somebody that runs the wheel strategy and is primarily an option seller, there are really three key moving averages that I really only pay attention to deciding when I enter or I exit my positions. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you just them. And if you drop a comment down below, I'm also going to give you all of my favorite technical indicators that I use when I'm running the wheel strategy or the Ark Options Strategy. Just drop a comment down below. No strings attached. It's yours. And while you're down there, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe button. And of course, guys, I hope you are having an absolutely God-blessed day. Today, we're talking about a fun topic. We're talking about moving averages. Listen, get your coffee. Let's talk about this because this is important, okay? We love looking at the Bollinger Bands. We love looking at the RSI. We love when stocks are crashing to sell our puts. We love when the RSI shoots up and we're at the top Bollinger Band and we're selling our covered calls and vice versa on the other side. But a lot of people don't realize that the moving averages on their stocks are just as important to be paying attention to, okay? Now, here's the thing, right? You don't need a ton of indicators, right? You could see here's just a basic chart that I like to use on Yahoo Finance, and there are primarily four indicators or five indicators that I use, six really, and I'll cover that one. So real quick, I will cover them. Most of you will probably understand what those are. As far as my moving averages, and we'll cover why I like these a lot, is my 50-day moving average. This gives me a look more of a short-term read on where this stock is relative to its 50-day moving average. This is very helpful for me, especially when I'm doing my weeklies and my monthlies, right? I have my 200-day moving average and 300-day moving average. Why are these important to me? Because anytime I sell a put, any stock that I buy in my option selling portfolio, I am long-term on. I don't mind if I end up holding that stock. As many of you know, I love selling options on dividend paying stocks. And the reason for that is, if I get stuck holding it, right, I'm going to collect my covered call premiums, right, on a weekly or monthly basis. And then I'm collecting my dividends on a monthly or quarterly basis, right? Some of these dividend payers like Realty Income, right, they pay a monthly dividend, and you could also collect a monthly or weekly premium from those as well, right? So either way, I'm always long term on whatever stock that I'm going to be buying. So I always like to look at a 200 and 300-day moving averages. More on that in just a moment. I have my Bollinger Bands as well. I have the value set to 30, and that gives me my 30-day moving average in the middle of my Bollinger Band here. And you can see Sofi in this example is trading right at its middle Bollinger Band, 30-day moving average. It's trading right at its 50-day moving average as well, right at that middle of that Bollinger Band, right? And so those are really the moving averages that I'm always seeing on my charts, right? 50-day, or 30-day, 50-day, 200 and 300, okay? I'm not necessarily always needing them all, but they're always good information to look at. I'm not a day trader. I don't need all the Fugazi on there. But with that said, I do like to look at those key support and resistance levels, especially on a volatile stock, especially on a Sofi stock like this, even though it's been so well above its 200 and 300 for so long. But with that said, I also have my RSI here, which tells me how oversold or overbought. Now, is the RSI sometimes redundant? In ways it can be, especially for us option sellers, but it is such an important indicator because you can basically dictate exactly where a stock is, right, just by looking at the RSI. Like, for me, if an RSI is right at the middle, I can almost assume that the stock is trading right around its middle Bollinger Band area. Now, it's not going to tell me where, my 200 and 300 days and stuff like moving averages are. No, obviously we need the chart for that. But with that said, it's still a great tool to have. So this is how I like to map out my indicators and whatever, whatever place you like to chart it up, TradingView, whatever, Fidelity, Yahoo Finance, I think is great for beginners and is one of my favorite places to kind of quickly see everything. I'm just a creature of habit though, but I do use the Fidelity. I think they call it like Fidelity Trader Pro or whatever. So with that said, how do I use this information to enter my trade? So for example, let's looking at Sofi here, right? And right now I can see, okay, Sofi's trading at its 50-day moving average. And I can kind of see, obviously, over let's just say over the past year, right? Look, it's just had a great time. But look at this, right? We've kind of started to flatten out, right? We really started to see flattening on this 50-day moving average ever since, right? Really at the end of November, right? Actually, a little bit mid-November, we've kind of flattened out here. Why is this important? Well, that tells me, okay, we have a good, support and resistance right around this current price price range of 27, right? Now, look at this chart here, right? Look at the Bollinger Bands, how aggressive they have been here on SoFi. Hits the bottom, retracts, hits the top, retracts, right? And we see that over the course, especially if we look at like the 6-month chart, and that provides us a lot of stability, right? Or a lot of, predicting, and I hate to say I'm predicting, but for the most part, it does help us like predict, right? So how do I use it? Well, I'm going to typically kind of rule of thumb, I like to be below the 50-day moving average, right? Especially on a volatile stock like SoFi, right? So going over to my SoFi options chain, let's take a quick look here, and you can see SoFi here. We are in pre-market, but let's go to the trade SoFi options. I'm going to sell a put, and let's say I do a simple weekly. And let me clean this up here real quick. Perfect. All right. So right here, we can see I know we're right around that 50-day moving average. Now I'm going to go and take a look at, okay, now that we're trading right around, I want to sell my puts below the 50-day moving average preferably, but I would especially love to sell my puts at the 200 and 300-day moving averages if possible. Now, if I go look at what's our 2 and 300 and 21s and 19s, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting that, right? There's no juice to be had. Even if I go out, let's go 35 days away here, right? Let's take a look. Do we even get $4? $4 for in locking up $1,900, right? It's not going to happen. And I'll show you guys another example here in just a moment. Sometimes it's just not possible, right? So I'm going to go back to my weekly, because if there's a stock that I love, even though it is above its 2 and 300-day moving averages, and I'm not able to sell puts close to the 2 and 300-day moving average, it doesn't mean I'm going to avoid the stock if I love it. SoFi is a very unique situation for me because I'm very bullish on this stock, so I don't mind being a little bit more aggressive on a position like this, right? So taking a look here at SoFi, I'm right at that 50-day moving average. Then I look at my Bollinger Bands. I'm like, okay, how can I work my way as close to the 25 level as possible? Because if I've noticed, okay, around that 25 level, we do seem to have some good support and we see a bounce back. Okay, now is that a guarantee? Absolutely not. Nothing in life is a guarantee, but it helps me get a good strike price, hopefully some decent premium along the way, and hopefully a nice bounce off that strike price, so I end up just walking away with the premium, right? So taking a look at the weekly here, let's go look at what the 25s are currently offering, right? So if I open up my 25s, at 12 delta, only about a 10% chance of getting assigned here. Let's take a look at how much premium we're collecting. $15 of premium. Let's go toss this into the calculator. $15 in premium for the week. We are locking up $2,500 for this trade, and you can get all of my calculators, by the way, guys, all these calculators, my premium calculators, and my full trade log template at the end of my Ark Options Strategy workshop. So you get 90 minutes of training on how to use it, and then I give these tools to you at the end of that training, and you'll see that down below in the description of today's video. But with that said, our days to expiration is 7, and you can see I get about a 0.6% return on this trade. Okay, is it good? Is it bad? You have to be the judge on that for yourself. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, it's not terrible, right? But with that said, for a higher risk stock like SoFi, where anything can happen, right? Especially how volatile it is, right? I personally would not take a trade like this for this strike price. It wouldn't make really much sense to me. Now, of course, annualized, everything's going to look incredible. And if you did this trade every day, you'd get over 2% a month, right? But for me, I'm going to go take now look at the monthly, right? I'm going to go take a look at the monthly, and I'm going to compare the two and see what works best for my personal situation, right? So I'm going to now go out about 30 days. If I can't get exactly 30 days, I'll usually go just a little bit over. So I'm going to go to 35 days to expiration here. And then I'm going to look at the 25s again, right? So if I open up the 25s, I got a 26 delta, so about a 26% chance of assignment. Let's take a look at the premium we're collecting, about $105 in premium that we would collect. Obviously, results vary. It's just what I'm seeing at the time of recording this video. So we're locking up $105 here, and take a look at this, right? 35 days to expiration, right? We are capturing here, right? We're collecting 4.2% on our money. That's 105 divided by the $2,500 that we are locking up, and a fantastic return on our money. Higher risk, higher chance of assignment. I don't care what the delta says. A 20, whether it's 26 delta or a 0.10 delta. If I'm getting a 4% return in a span of a month, that is a higher risk play. Okay, always understand option selling. As much as it feels like we're getting free money, it's not, right? We are still taking on the risk, right, of purchasing these, potentially having to purchase these shares. Now, which trade do I like better? better? Which one do you think, right? Obviously, I'm going to prefer the monthly for a whole slew of reasons, right? Partly because number one, the indicators tell me so. My 25 obviously is still below above my 200-day moving average, but I'm below my bottom Bollinger Band. I am below my bottom Bollinger Band, and I am below my my 50-day moving average. So it would be a trade that I wouldn't be upset about if I got assigned, especially since I'm bullish and long term on Sofi. Now, with that said, let's take a look at another setup. So another one of my favorite stocks to trade is Altria, right? A fantastic dividend paying stock that has been getting hammered recently. Now take a look at this specific chart, right? We are below our 300 our 50-day moving average. We're below our 300-day moving average, which they're kind of in line right around that 58 level. And then we're also below our 200-day moving average of around $60, right? And we're trading currently at time of recording this in pre-market around $56, right? So let's go take a look at what kind of setups they have, right? So let's go over to MO, Altria, great dividend payer. Obviously, go do your own research on these stocks. And if I go to sell a put here, I am okay now because the moving averages tell me so to be more aggressive. All of those indicators technically line up for me and my financial goals. I am below all of the averages that I care about. I am below the bottom Bollinger Band, right? I am basically, and I'm below a recent low, right? So here around that 56 level. Well, at the time, obviously pre-market's a little bit higher at this point, but at 55. So at this point, all of the stars have aligned technically. Did something fundamentally change with the company? What's going on, fam? Right? So I first then go look at that. What's going on with Altria fundamentally? If the fundamentally, maybe there's some overreaction, or however I decipher the news, if everything still looks good and makes sense to me, I will then open that trade being a lot closer to the money, because as you see here, right, if I sell a put here, let's even weeklies, you could see, you're not getting that much premium, right? So 50, especially on these boring dividend kings and dividend aristocrats, right? So here I'm collecting, $57, let's just say $58 of premium, right? $58 of premium on Altria here. I'm locking up $5,600 for a week, but I'm getting about a 1% return on my money here. That's personally a trade that I would like to take, because again, I'm being more aggressive, because actually, right, my ulterior motive is to get assigned here at an insane level. So then I'm collecting over a 7% dividend and some juicy covered call premiums. If you want to learn more about this strategy, plus get all of my resources for my trade log template, plus my 2 premium calculators completely for free, click the first link down below right now. Attend a 90-minute Ark Options Strategy workshop. I promise not to waste your time. And at the end of it, after I teach you how to use this stuff, you can walk away with these calculators and start using them for yourself. Remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.